Kirk takes a deep breath, preparing to share something he's held inside for years. What hurt the most, Jasmine, was when you didn't stand up for me. You didn't set things straight when people were talking. I needed you to be there, to let people know what was real. But you stayed silent. His words hang in the air, heavy with years of hurt. Jasmine feels the weight of his disappointment, realizing how her silence might have left him feeling alone. When Jasmine hears Kirk's words, they hit her hard. She's not used to seeing him this way, so vulnerable, open and honest. Normally, Kirk comes across as confident and in control, but now she sees just how deeply this situation is affecting him. Kirk shifts uncomfortably in his seat, clearly feeling the weight of his own mistakes. He doesn't want this to be a conversation where he only blames Jasmine. He knows he's also responsible. With a heavy sigh, he admits, "I know I've made a lot of mistakes too." His voice softens as he goes on. "I've done things that hurt the people I care about. I've embarrassed my family and let down my wife, my kids, and even myself." There's no escaping that truth. Kirk pauses, regret written all over his face. He adds, "But I want you to know, nothing romantic has ever happened between us. I've never cheated on my wife with you, and I don't plan to. My family means everything to me, and I need to protect that." These words are not just setting boundaries, they're a way for him to make things right. Kirk has spent years building a life with Rashida and their kids, and he's not willing to let misunderstandings tear that apart. "I've been with my wife for 25 years, Jasmine. We've had highs and lows, but we're committed. Marriage is more than love, it's about trust, forgiveness, and loyalty." Jasmine listens closely, feeling a newfound respect for Kirk's commitment to his family. His honesty is a reminder of his dedication, and it gives her clarity about where his focus truly lies. As they talk, Kirk brings up the challenges of co-parenting their son, Cannon. His voice holds tension as he admits, "Raising a child together. While we're not together, it's complicated, Jasmine. It's hard on me, it's hard on you, and it's hard on Cannon. Every day feels like a balancing act." He opens up about the mental toll, explaining, "Sometimes it takes me back to a place I don't want to be. I get triggered by past memories, which makes me angry or shut down, and I hate feeling that way." His honesty catches Jasmine by surprise, revealing a side of Kirk she hadn't seen, a side struggling with the weight of his responsibilities. Kirk knows he must confront his feelings to make things work with Jasmine and create a steady, supportive life for their son, Cannon. He pauses, taking a deep breath to gather himself, then speaks firmly, "Jasmine, I want to be there for Cannon. He deserves my support, and I'm not walking away from that." Kirk explains his intention to make his commitment official by going through legal steps to recognize Cannon. He promises to continue supporting Cannon financially and to be present in his life as much as possible. Hearing Kirk's words brings Jasmine relief. She's been waiting for him to step up like this for a long time, and now that he's voicing his commitment, she feels a weight lifting. Co-parenting won't be without challenges, but knowing that Kirk is fully on board gives her hope. Kirk then shares his need for some space, setting boundaries to make this arrangement work. "I need space, Jasmine," he says, steady but firm. "Not because I don't care, but to keep things calm and focused on Cannon. I want to be a good father, but I also need to protect my peace." Jasmine understands his need for boundaries. She has wanted Kirk to be more involved, but she also knows that maintaining distance can keep things stable for Cannon. They both realize this is now about more than just the two of them. It's about creating a positive, supportive environment for their son. As their talk winds down, Kirk looks at Jasmine with sincerity. "I'm sorry, Jasmine," he says gently, "for all the hurt, for everything I put you through. I appreciate your patience, even when I made things difficult." This apology is heartfelt. He's learned a lot and is ready to grow, not just for his family but for himself. "I want to be a better father, husband, and person. I want us to look back and feel we did right by Cannon." Jasmine lets his words settle. She too has been hurt by this situation, but Kirk's genuine remorse and willingness to make things right give her a sense of closure. She's ready to move forward, focusing on co-parenting and making sure Cannon has the best life possible. Together, they agree to set aside their personal issues and work together for Cannon's benefit. It won't be easy, but they leave with hope, knowing they can build a positive future for their son despite their past. In this emotional episode of Love Hip Hop Atlanta, Kirk shows a side that fans rarely see. He's not just a man who made mistakes in his relationship. He's a father and husband determined to make things right. Despite his past errors, Kirk's vulnerability and honesty make it clear that he's ready to take responsibility. While he knows he can't undo what's been done, he wants to rebuild a stronger future for his family. Jasmine listens closely, absorbing his words with a mix of relief and surprise. For years, she's imagined this conversation but wasn't sure if it would ever truly happen. Now that it's here, she finds herself moved by Kirk's openness. As Kirk speaks, Jasmine feels a wave of sadness as she reflects on the arguments that have driven them apart. She never realized how deeply these disagreements affected Kirk. Each time they fought, she assumed he was just ignoring her or brushing off their issues. But now she sees a different side. He was not only feeling his own pain, but also a sense of exhaustion from constantly trying to bridge the growing distance between them. Kirk's words cut deep, especially when he reveals how each argument felt like another wall going up between them. Every fight felt like building another barrier, he admits. After a while, I just stopped trying to fix things because I felt like nothing I said mattered. I got tired, Jasmine. I started shutting down. Hearing this, Jasmine's heart sinks. All this time, she thought Kirk was intentionally ignoring her feelings. But now she realizes he had been suffering too. She begins to see how their misunderstandings and hurtful exchanges led him to feel emotionally distant. Her perception shifts, and she feels a pang of regret for not noticing his pain earlier. Jasmine understands that Kirk wasn't just brushing her off. He was carrying his own disappointments and was too tired to keep fighting. After a long silence, Kirk decides to open up about something he has kept to himself for years. His voice softens and his tone becomes vulnerable as he says, "Jasmine, what really hurt me was that you didn't stand up for me when it mattered." His words linger in the air, filling the room with a weighty silence. "When people were talking about us, I needed you to tell them the truth, to defend me. But you stayed quiet." His confession is heartfelt, revealing a wound he's carried alone. Jasmine feels the impact of his words. She looks down, processing the disappointment and frustration in his voice. It becomes clear to her how her silence and decision to avoid conflicts hurt him more than she ever realized. As Kirk opens up about feeling let down, Jasmine begins to grasp the depth of his hurt. She never thought her silence could be so damaging, but now she sees how it made Kirk feel unsupported. It's not that she didn't care, but in choosing to stay quiet, she unintentionally left him to face the world alone. She now understands that her lack of support wasn't just a personal choice, it was a choice that made Kirk question her loyalty and her commitment to him. Kirk's voice drops and there's a touch of sadness as he admits, "It made me look at you differently." Jasmine, his words carry a weight of unresolved pain, and she can hear the frustration he's kept bottled up for so long. "I started feeling like I couldn't count on you. Like maybe you didn't care enough to be there for me when it mattered most." His honesty hits Jasmine hard. She realizes that her silence, something she thought was harmless, had lasting effects on how he viewed their relationship. For Jasmine, this conversation is a moment of revelation. She never imagined that her choice to stay quiet would make Kirk feel abandoned. The realization that her silence led him to question her love and loyalty fills her with a mix of regret and sorrow. She now sees that what Kirk needed was her support, not just in private but also in public, to show the world that they were united. This moment is more than just a scene in a TV show, it's a reminder of the power of forgiveness and the importance of standing by those we love. Even when times are tough. As fans watch Kirk and Jasmine navigate these challenges, they are reminded that every relationship faces struggles. But with openness and mutual support, it's possible to overcome even the deepest hurts. Kirk and Jasmine's journey is far from over, but with this newfound understanding, they're ready to move forward, hand in hand, toward a brighter future. This is a story of resilience, love, and the possibility of second chances, one that resonates far beyond the screen, touching the hearts of everyone who's ever fought to hold on to someone they love.